From Lincoln to Trump, all the assassinations of U.S. statesmen. The candidate for President of the United States, Donald Trump, survived another assassination attempt, which occurred during his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, on the evening of July 13th. The young man fired several times towards the stage where the politician was speaking. Then Trump interrupted his speech, bent down, and grabbed his ear. At the same moment, bodyguards and representatives of the special services rushed to him, surrounded the politician, took him away from the podium, and took him in a car to a medical facility. There's nothing wrong with Trump. As his son later stated, the politician will continue to fight for a free America. However, as a result of the incident, one of the spectators of the rally was killed, and two more people were seriously injured. The shooter himself was neutralized. Donald Trump is far from the first American politician whose life has been attempted. In connection with recent events in the United States, I decided to recall all the assassinations of presidents and candidates for state leaders. I'm with you. Goomy Prod, subscribe to my channel, please. Andrew Jackson, the seventh American president, Andrew Jackson, and the first head of state to be assassinated. So, on January 30th, 1835, Richard Lawrence, a house painter, crept up on him in the Capitol building. He pulled out a pistol and tried to shoot twice, but the weapon misfired. Then Lawrence was captured, and he called his motive against Jackson revenge for being unemployed. At the same time, the president claimed that his political enemies had sent the killer, Abraham Lincoln. The 16th president of the United States, one of the founders of the Republican Party, Abraham Lincoln, was fatally shot in the head on April 14, 1865, in a theater box in Washington. He was shot by the popular actor John Wilkes Booth, who considered the president's orders unconstitutional. It is assumed that at the same time the shooter said in Latin the phrase, "Such is the fate of tyrants," which is also attributed to Caesar's murderer, Brutus. After being wounded, Lincoln was moved from the theater to a house located opposite the cultural institution. The president died the next morning on April 15th. It is worth noting that also because of Booth's shot, U.S. Secretary of State William Stewart, who was sitting next to Lincoln, was injured. John F. Kennedy. The story of the assassination of the 35th American president, John F. Kennedy, is shrouded in a number of conspiracy theories. However, the official version says, on November 22, 1963, he was fatally shot during a trip to Dallas, Texas. Former Marine Lee Harvey Oswald killed Kennedy. Everything happened live on air when the politician and his wife were driving through the streets of the city in a car. 2 days after the tragedy, Oswald was shot dead at the Dallas police station at the moment when he was taken out to be sent to a federal prison. Barack Obama. The next president of the United States, Barack Obama, also became a target for assassination. So one of the attempts occurred on November 11, 2011. That day, several shots were fired more than half a kilometer from the White House, after which the security forces found an abandoned car with a machine gun in it. 2 bullets were found on the territory of the U.S. president's residence. One of them was stopped by a special window pane. At the time of the shooting, Obama was in California with his wife. Donald Trump. The 45th American president, Donald Trump, experienced the first attempt on his life back in June 2016 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Then Briton Michael Sanford stood with another crowd and listened to the leader's speech. At one point, he tried to grab a police officer's gun and shoot Trump. Later, the guy admitted that he actually intended to kill the presidential candidate. John F. Kennedy's younger brother and U.S. presidential candidate Robert Kennedy was the victim of a vengeful Palestinian. So, on June 5, 1968, during his performance at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California, the sounds of gunfire were heard. Several bullets headed towards Kennedy. After that, he collapsed to the floor, and then the bodyguards rushed at the killer.